Happening now, we hear from PA officials on the manhunt for an escaped prisoner. And a second rabid animal has been found in Chautauqua County. Plus, we look at safety increases for the Chautauqua institution.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, the search continues for a Jamestown man who escaped from a Warren prison, police say. As of 4 p.m. Sunday afternoon, police say the search for 34-year-old Michael Burham is still ongoing. Authorities believe he is still in the Warren, PA area, but the search has expanded across the region into New York State and the Allegheny National Forest. Now, Burham is currently on the run after escaping from the Warren County Jail late Thursday night. Police also believe that Burham could have acquired a weapon and is considered armed and dangerous. Now, Burham may be getting help. Anyone found to be helping the escapee will face legal repercussions. In a response to questions leading to Burham's escape, the prison says that all inmates exercise at all hours of the day, and due to legal requirements, only a select few prisoners can be in the area at the time.
Burham is a self-taught survivalist with military reserve experience. We believe he has previously prepared to conceal himself in the woods. In the past 24 hours and since our last press conference yesterday, we have searched numerous residences, abandoned structures, and vast wooded areas, all driven by tips or investigative decisions. We have located small stockpiles or campsites in wooded areas in the general vicinity of Warren. We believe these sites are associated with Burham. We have no reason to believe Burham has left the general area. With that said, we have received several tips or investigative leads from outside of the area, and we are thoroughly investigating each of those.
Now, police have followed up on numerous tips from the public. While none have been credible, police continue to ask for help from the community. They also urge all in the area to stay vigilant and lock all doors, windows, and cars. Now, this is an ongoing story and will be updated as information becomes available. Be sure to download our app on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store, as more information will be coming out as information becomes available. Now, a Chinese buffet establishment in Lakewood has been accused of unsanitary practices last week after a family's dinner outing turned to something out of a horror movie. The McClipp family were enjoying a dinner out at the Sakura Buffet last Friday when their son noticed suspicious activity by their waitress. Our Alyssa Wright reports.
The server came over and asked if we would like refills on our drink. So me and my son were sitting there, and next thing you know, he proceeded to watch her the whole time, pick his cup up and take it into that side room, where they fill them. And he happened to watch her take his glass and put his straw in her mouth.
The family decided they had to speak up about what happened, but according to Olson, no one could help.
After that, we went ahead and we talked it over amongst each other and said, we need to go say something. But at that time, there was no managers there, nothing at all. There was just a younger kid at the front desk, and I spoke with him. He told us to talk to the host, and she wasn't sure what to do.
After getting no help from management, Olson confronted the server directly.
At that point, we were just done eating there. We weren't going to eat another bite. And the server noticed we were on our way out, and she rushed to grab her check, and she brought it over to the table, and that's when I confronted her about this situation. She looked at me that first time, just kind of looked up at me, no reaction. And the second time I asked again, did you put my son's straw in your mouth? And that second time she proceeded to just giggle and laugh about it.
According to the family, contacting the health department was top priority on Friday after attempts to contact management proved unsuccessful. WNY News Now also reached out to the Sakura Buffet for comment, but were told no one is here right now, and staff were unable to provide a secondary phone number, stating no. In Jamestown, New York, Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
A second gray fox in Chautauqua County has tested positive for rabies, health officials say. Now, the initial incident led but 2 individuals being bitten by a rabid gray fox in the Bemis Point area near Route 430. Now, a second fox in the same area has tested positive for the disease. Now, animals infected with the rabies virus will have varied reactions. Some may become aggressive while others become docile. It is important, however, to notify the health department if you suspect an animal or yourself may have come in contact with the virus. Rabies is almost always fatal when left untreated. In accordance with New York state law, all dogs, cats, and domesticated ferrets must be vaccinated against rabies starting at 4 months of age and will require regular booster shots thereafter. Now, if you believe you were in contact with a rabid animal and have not seen a medical provider, the county does urge you to call the health department at 716-753-4783. In other news, the Chautauqua institution is now operating at full force. However, this year, security changes are taking place. A clear container policy has been enacted for the institution for visitors to the amphitheater and other venues. If a bag is larger than 4.5 by 6.5 inches, it must be see-through. Weapons are also not allowed at venues. However, sharp crafting items like knitting needles are allowed. Umbrellas are also allowed. However, security may ask for them to be open during screening. Seat cushions are also allowed, as long as any pockets are empty. Now, water bottles are also fine. However, non-clear containers may be subject to a shaking test for weapons. While the security measures may be a lot, we spoke with Cindy Williams, who went to the amphitheater for a show, and she tells us the experiences she encountered.
Everybody put their flashlights on their camera, and it looked like candles, and everybody was singing and rocking back and forth and rocking out, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Now, did you get a chance to get any footage, any pictures?
You know what happened? I had my purse and everything with my camera and all that, my phone, and we went to go down to the main gate, and they said no purses were allowed.
Now, last year at the Chautauqua Institution, a world-renowned author, Solomon Rushdie, was attacked on stage at a literary festival, provoking tighter security measures. While switching gears a little bit, we'll get a check of our first weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Andrew Stevenson, and it seems kind of quiet in your neck of the woods.
We had some clouds out there this morning. It was a cloudy start to the morning, but as you see here on First Defense Doppler radar, those clouds are pretty much scattered out, and we'll have the clouds continue to scatter out for the rest of the afternoon, and we should go partly to mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day. We just had a brief shower across Warren County earlier this morning, but other than that, the rest of the day, it's going to be pretty dry out there. Let's take a look at the almanac for today. We made it to a high of 73 degrees yesterday in the city of Jamestown. Our low for today was 62, and our averages should be around 80 degrees for the average high, the average low about 58. And our record's 99 is the record high, set back in 1936, and the record low of 41, set back in 1986. So here's your First Defense weather forecast for the rest of the afternoon out there. For the rest of the afternoon, we should have partly to mostly sunny skies. We won't have to deal with any rain out there today, so it's gonna be a beautiful day out there today with highs in the mid to upper 70s and a northwest wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'll have a look at that full forecast, including when more rain is on the way coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, we'll see you then. As WNY News Now continues, at least 5 people have been bitten by sharks in New York State. However, drone footage has not seen a large quantity of the animals. And later, we have the latest on a New York shooting. Stay with us, as WNY News Now will be right back.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Continuing coverage from a story on Friday, New York's governor has deployed shark monitoring drones to local beach communities in the wake of recent shark sightings and attacks. Now, there are some of the drone images captured in Long Island on Wednesday. Marine life experts say that these specific images show a large quantity of fish, not sharks. They say that these are likely black drum fish. Shark patrols have ramped up on Long Island beaches after 5 people were bitten in 2 days, most likely by sharks. Thursday, drone operators spotted what they believe to be a 10-foot shark near a swimming area. They tracked it out to sea. An hour later, lifeguards allowed swimmers back into the water. While police have identified the gunman suspect in a string of shootings in Queens and Brooklyn, New York on Saturday. He is 25-year-old Thomas Arabu from Brooklyn. Investigators say he was involved in 6 shootings. The gunfire killed 86-year-old Hamu Saidi of Queens and wounded 3 others. Authorities are still investigating and have not released a motive for the attacks. Now, the suspect is currently charged with 3 of the shootings, and the district attorney's office will determine if he'll face any additional charges. While prosecutors say the alleged shooter in a mass shooting in Philadelphia on Monday went on a, quote, deliberate killing spree, setting out to kill strangers. Now, 5 people were killed, including a 15-year-old boy. Kimberly Cracker, now in jail, held without bail, and facing numerous charges, including murder. Investigators say his weapons were ghost guns, which would have made them untraceable by law enforcement if they had not captured him at the scene. Now, Danny Freeman has the story, but first, a warning. Some viewers may find the video in this report disturbing.
Today, 40-year-old Kim Brady Carricker appeared in a Philadelphia courtroom. He's accused of opening fire on a street hours before the 4th of July. The attack captured by this street corner surveillance camera.
People outside, people eating water ices. Nobody's expecting to just come outside and somebody walking around shooting people.
Prosecutors say Carricker randomly shot and killed 5 people Monday night and attempted to murder several others.
On what was supposed to be a beautiful summer evening, this armed and armored individual wreaked havoc, firing with a rifle at their victims, seemingly at random.
At this point, investigators are still searching for a motive. A law enforcement source telling CNN Carricker's Facebook page could provide some answers. The most recent public post, the morning of the shooting, a man in tactical gear holding a gun. Carricker also posted about gun rights, religion, freedom, and Black Lives Matter. Separate law enforcement sources told CNN the suspect told police he committed the shooting to, in sum and substance, clean the neighborhood.
I didn't see the guy until the fire started coming out of the gun. We saw the sparks coming out of the gun. That's when I ran.
Police say Carricker indiscriminately sprayed Philadelphia's Kingsessing neighborhood with bullets, killing pedestrians and hitting a car with a mother and twin 2-year-olds inside. One was shot in the leg.
This was random. This was someone who set out to kill strangers, which of course has become way too common in the United States.
Police chased and ultimately arrested Carricker, who was wearing body armor and a ski mask, carrying a police scanner, and holding an AR-15 style rifle and a handgun.
This is just a tragedy at the most profound, deepest level. We're talking about completely innocent bystanders who did absolutely nothing to put themselves at risk.
I feel him saying, why me, why me, why me?
20-year-old Lashad Merritt was among those killed. His mother says he loved his family, his girlfriend, and his job.
Some maniac walking around just shooting. For what? We probably would never know why, but you took my son. You took my baby.
Now investigators believe the killing spree may have begun days before the mass shooting. In other news, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling on the Food and Drug Administration to investigate the amount of caffeine in certain energy drinks. Now Sunday, Schumer accused Prime energy drinks of targeting children, even though the drinks have more than double the caffeine in a can of Red Bull, or 6 times more caffeine than a can of Coke.
A lot of parents may never heard of it, but their kids have, because Prime is engaged in a vast advertising campaign aimed at kids, even though kids aren't supposed to drink a drink with this much caffeine.
Now Prime on its website states that its energy drinks are not recommended for children under the age of 18, women who are pregnant or nursing, or individuals who are sensitive to caffeine. While coming up, a rule has been made in action to reparations for a 1921 massacre. And later, a site in the northern United States, as the northern lights may be visible later in the week. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Slow down. Slow down and move over.
Move over. When you see signs,
Lights, vests,
Please, give us some room.
slow down. Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger.
This danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please.
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
15-year-old Yadiel Diaz was subject to a public humiliation stunt by a fellow student in an act of violence and bullying. Now Yadiel's mother, Raquel, has had enough.
Officials are trying to work with the county's homeless coalition to help support the homeless population locally. There are also plans in the works to build 2 new shelters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Let's take a look at current conditions in downtown Jamestown. We're under partly sunny skies. 72 degrees is the current temperature at Jamestown Airport as of the noon hour with a northwest wind of 7 miles per hour and a gust of 18. And look at the dew points. We're at 52 degrees. This time last week, our dew points were in the 60s. So it definitely feels better out there with lower dew points. Let's take a look at what's happening across the northeast right now. High pressure is beginning to build into the region. That's going to dry us out over the next few days. Meanwhile, portions of eastern New York getting into Vermont and New Hampshire are just getting pounded with rain out there. And I'm going to show you these rainfall totals here in just a minute. They've got pretty much a month's worth of rain in just 24 hours. So let's take a look at those rainfall totals from out east of us. And the grand total so far, I've seen Beekman, New York with 7.5 inches of rain in the past 24 hours. Like I said, that's couple months worth of rain, and they got it all in one day, and the totals are just as great across portions of Vermont, with areas over 5 inches and over 4 inches in Bridgewater, Vermont, 4.5 inches, and then Belmont, Vermont, over 4/20 of an inch, and northeast Rochester a little over 4 inches. So they are just getting pounded with rain out there, and definitely we need rain, but we don't need that much rain. So let's time it out on future scan for our portion of the area. What we have for the next 24 to 48 hours. Through the rest of the afternoon out there, should go partly to mostly sunny skies through the rest of the afternoon. So if you have any outdoor afternoon activities for the afternoon, beautiful afternoon out there. We go mainly clear skies overnight tonight, and heading into the day tomorrow. Tomorrow should be another nice day out there, partly to mostly sunny skies through the day. We can't rule out maybe an isolated shower tomorrow afternoon, but a weak cold front is going to drop through the region tomorrow night into Wednesday, and that's going to bring some chances for a few showers and thunderstorms into the region on Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, the NOAA Storm Prediction Center does have us under a marginal risk for severe weather on Wednesday. As that cold front drops through the region, there's a chance for a few isolated strong to severe thunderstorms possible. And if we do see any stronger storms on Wednesday, the main culprit would be some strong gusty winds. Well, tonight, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks back in action tonight against the Batavia Muck Dogs. Should be a beautiful night for baseball out there. Partly to mainly clear skies with temperatures in the lower 70s. They won last night, so get out there and support the Tarp Skunks because they're doing well right now. They are currently in second place. And now that 7-day outlook powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. Highs over the next few days will generally be in the mid to upper 70s. We should stay dry tomorrow. Chance for a few isolated showers on Wednesday. Thursday, a low pressure system is going to move through the region, bringing more showers to the region. Depending on the track of that system, we could have the potential for a few more stronger storms on Thursday. Friday looks pretty dry as of right now, and heading into the weekend, chance for some showers and thunderstorms over the weekend, but it will not be a complete washout as there will be plenty of dry time in between.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Now for some headlines from across the nation. California police are looking for a prisoner who escaped while in a mental facility. YC Mitri has more.
A massive manhunt for a suspected murderer on the run. Had more than 200 law enforcement officers checking around one home after another in Rockland and in Roseville.
Oh, we're all scared.
And searching the trunks of cars leaving Sutter-Roseville Medical Center, where the Placer County Sheriff's Office says 35-year-old Eric Abril escaped after 3 this morning.
Abril was brought to the Sutter-Roseville Medical Center on Thursday, July 6 for an unknown medical condition. He was transported here by ambulance and under guard. Abril has been under a 24-hour guard since arriving at the hospital.
But Sheriff Wayne Wu says after a brief chase on foot with a deputy on scene, Abril got away wearing orange jail pants and a chain around his waist, as seen in this surveillance still shot.
Clearly, we consider Abril a very dangerous fugitive.
Abril is charged with murdering 72-year-old James McKeegan in April in Mahaney Park when investigators say he took hostages as CHP tried to serve him with search warrants. He's charged with attempted murder for shooting and injuring one of the officers.
We were just kind of shocked about it, and everybody still talks about it, but today, I can't believe he escaped.
Tina Van Kesteren says Abril's mom lives in her Roseville neighborhood, and law enforcement surrounded the home this morning.
They had drones overhead yelling, saying, come out, search warrant, we have a search warrant.
But they didn't find him there, and by the afternoon, the search moved to Rockland, near Greenbrae and Aguilar Roads.
I actually asked one of the officers, I was like, should I be locking my doors? And he said the escapee was somewhere down the road.
Kind of hard to believe he could have escaped, but I hope they get him.
Court records are showing that a lawsuit seeking reparations for the remaining survivors of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre were dismissed on Friday. The 3 remaining survivors had argued that the damage inflicted during the massacre was a, quote, public nuisance, and were seeking relief. They also wanted to recover for unjust enrichment that others had gained from the exploitation of the massacre. Now, they were children when a white mob destroyed the Greenwood district of the city, which was known as Black Wall Street, over the course of roughly 24 hours. However, the city requested the lawsuit be dismissed with prejudice. They argued that being connected to a historical event does not give a person unlimited rights to seek compensation. Now, the judge did agree, and the lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be filed again. While people in 17 states may be able to see the Northern Lights next week on July 13th. If it's on your bucket list, this might be your chance if you live in many of the states bordering Canada. The glow is produced by electrons from space that interact with the sun and Earth's magnetic field. The higher the geomatic activity, the brighter the aurora. The Space Weather Prediction Center says that if you're interested in seeing them, you should get away from city lights. As the day approaches, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration will monitor the activity and release a forecast of its own. Now, I was talking to our chief weather forecaster, Andrew Stevenson, earlier, and he told us that in our area down here in western New York, we really won't see much, and it really in New York State is only going to hit the tip of the state. Well, next, we hear warnings on deadly shooting media trend.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
15-year-old Yadiel Diaz was subject to a public humiliation stunt by a fellow student in an act of violence and bullying. Now Yadiel's mother, Raquel, has had enough.
Officials are trying to work with the county's homeless coalition to help support the homeless population locally. There are also plans in the works to build 2 new shelters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job.
I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working.
I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Boating safety experts are warning people about a video challenge circulating online that has turned deadly. Authorities say at least 4 people in Alabama have died trying this stunt. Now, Katie Bennett has more on why people should think twice before they jump off of a moving boat.
Searching for boat jump challenge on TikTok brings up videos like this one, showing people jumping off a moving boat foot first. Some videos are recent, others are a few years old.
It's going to be like you have fallen from heights onto a concrete sidewalk. So water is not soft to land on when you're going at speed.
Authorities say 4 men from Alabama died after taking part in this social media challenge.
You're going to end up with a broken neck, you're going to end up with broken bones. If you're not wearing a life jacket when you do it, by the time the boat circles back around to come get you, most likely you will have drowned.
Some Rhode Island boaters are surprised by the trend. Boat launches across the Ocean State are busy this time of year.
I think that's pretty unsafe. I mean, jumping out of anything that's moving is pretty unsafe, especially if you don't know what you're doing.
I think that TikTok trends are taken real literally, and some things just shouldn't be replicated.
If you're going out on the water, there's a few things experts say you can do to stay safe. Have a sober skipper, know where you're traveling, and always carry a radio.
Is there anything you guys do like to stay safe out in the water with like life jackets, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so we always have life vests for
At least one for everyone. You should always have a fire extinguisher. You never know what's going to happen. Don't be speeding around. I mean, you got to be careful. There's people swimming, there's people on kayaks.
The C2 Foundation is asking people to take part in a different challenge this summer. It wants to encourage people to try to get on a life jacket in less than 30 seconds. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have left for today, but we will leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. We'll see you next time on WNY News Now.